Hey everybody, so when I went to post this video, I realized I made a couple of mistakes to start with. So I'm making this video to put in front of the other video to make sure that I clarify what mistakes I made so that you guys don't make the same mistakes. So mistake number one, when I hold up the spark plug, you'll see that I show the gap size on the new one versus the old one. And I made this whole video off of 2 hours of sleep, and it wasn't a good idea. And I had 2 hours of sleep the night before that. So I was running off very little sleep, and it didn't hit me till the next day what I did when I started this car right after I finished spark plugs, and I realized, okay, it's not running right. So I figured, okay, I'll just worry about this tomorrow. So I didn't really feel like dealing with the problem at the moment. I know I should have, but the next morning, right, so I got up and I started dealing with the problem, and I was having misfire in cylinder one, which is the spark plug I replaced on camera. And I was thinking about it, and the more I thought about it, I was like, the spark plug didn't look right when I put it in. So I pulled it out and I realized it was misgapped. The spark plug, the electrode on the end, should not be touching the inner piece. I don't know what it's called, but it's the little piece that curves around on the ends of the electrode, and that should not be touching the spark plug main part. So anyhow, I realized that there needed to be a gap, and I didn't do that, so I had to gap that spark plug. The other five were perfectly gapped. That was the only one that I had problems with, but as of this moment, that is taken care of. And the other problem I had, the other problem I should have done and taken care of in the first place is when I put on that, like the anti-seize? No, it's not anti-seize. It's that lubricant though. The lubricant when I put on this video, you'll see that I put it around the top. I should put it a little bit further down. I shouldn't try to keep it away from the top a little bit and put it more towards the white part of the spark plug. And that's just to keep the coil pack from like sticking when you try to pull them out, like after they've been there for a while. So I should have focused more on trying to get that lubricant down a little bit further. But like I said, I was running off a little bit of sleep and I was tired. So I made this video in haste to get something posted. But now it's taking me longer than I should have. So I should have just waited. But yeah, make sure your spark plugs are properly gapped, or they'll cause major problems like misfiring in your engine, which I had, which is why I had to take out the spark plug, gap it properly, and check all the others, because I made that mistake of not doing it the first time around because I was tired and I was just trying to get it done. But onto the video, and if I made any other mistakes that you see, please let me know. But those are the two biggest ones I can think of. Other than that, hope you guys enjoy the video. Thank you. What's up, boys? It's a hot day today. So today I'm working on the spark plugs on my car. I have 5 of this stuff. It's a 6-cylinder, so 5 of the coil packs. The harness is unclipped to it, and the screws are loosened. That's just so I can be prepared, so I can do this video quicker. But I left one together so I can show you how to take it all apart. But it's a really hot day, so I'm gonna try to get this finished quick. I've been sweating just getting these 5 off. So we're gonna get the 6th one apart, get these new spark plugs in. Sorry about that. Get these new spark plugs in and get this car running. So these are an upgraded spark plug though, not the stock ones they come with. These went in there, right? And they're like, oh yeah, we got these, and they're like $6. And I got these, and these are $12 a piece. But these are machine welded iridium spark plugs, and these are, most of them are iridium, but these come off they're a more precise machining process, and they also have a closer arc here, which is different because these sit a whole lot closer than your standard ones will. And these are also more for racing. These were like off their performance line. So I got these for my car, and the stock ones that are on it, I don't know how long ago they were changed. I've had the car for about 35,000 miles, which is a long time to have a car and not change the spark plug. But I'm gonna change these spark plugs. These are good for about 100,000 miles, but I like changing mine about every 50. Like I said, I don't know when these came on it, but it's about time to change these spark plugs. So to get started, I removed the cover off the engine, and I'm moving on. There's a little screw right here holding the coil pack in. So just loosening up the screw, and I back these all the way out. There's a little piece of rubber on these that are meant to hold it in there, but I like take them all the way out so I don't lose one. So all the way out, drop it up there so I don't lose it. Now there's a wiring harness on it. So we take a little flathead screwdriver, turn it sideways, and there's a little clip underneath that releases it, which then allows us to just pull our coil straight out like that. And I'll probably upgrade these in the future. Now our spark plug's right there. So I don't know what size it is. I have two different sizes for spark plugs to remove. So we're going to take one out of the pack, and this will let us know without having to use two different types. So we just slip it down over the top, and this one's not deep. Well, there it goes, brand new, and the rubber piece wasn't down far enough. It was actually down a little bit. So that's the right size right there. So we'll set this one back in the box for now. And we'll take our tool and we'll just go straight down in. And that's on. So very carefully back these out because you do not want to strip the spark plug out. And the rubber piece that snaps to on the end, the piece that was down a little bit too far originally, it's there to make sure that spark plug comes out and to hold the spark plug in place while you're removing it. Plus it doesn't damage them since it's rubber. And I don't like all these little pieces of plastic, but they're necessary. They just get in your way though. And so like that, it's removed. And see the gap distance on that one versus the new one. I'll pull it out. See, the gap distance is so much smaller. That's because it's more for racing and performance than this one was. So put that in the box and see how burned up that is. That's why we're replacing it today. That looks very, very old and very, very bad. So we'll just pop that out of there and set it aside. And now with the new ones, I like to take my shirt and just wipe it off very gently, because I'll just touch this and I want to make sure that it's clean when it goes in there. And I'll do that with both ends, and I'll stick it in the ratchet. I know my shirt's sweaty, but that was a dry spot, so like I said, there's no oils or anything on it. And then you want to be very careful putting these back in and be very gentle. So we're going to pop off the ratchet. And we're going to do this by hand because I do not want to strip this out. Pop that off real quick. Also, when you do this, look down in these holes and make sure you don't have oil or water or anything in it, because that means you got something bad with your block, probably cracked the engine, and that allows oil or fluids to seep into your spark plug places. I don't know what you call these. I'm trying to think of it. But where your spark plug sits, the housing. So be very careful. And once you get them on, don't tie them down, but just finger tying it. That means very, very loosely push. And then we're just going to take our coil pack. Like I said, these are getting old, but we'll probably replace them sooner or later. Making sure everything's good. And one thing I actually forgot to do is I'm supposed to add this to it. So let's back this back out again and do this again. Me getting ahead of myself today. So very gently make sure it's on, crack it. Almost all the way out. There we go. Back out. Find their dry corner of my shirt. And this is to keep the boot from getting stuck. We're just going to put a little bit right here on the edge. Here we go. Just rub it around. This is so when you put your coil in, it doesn't get stuck to the boot inside of it. It's like right in there, so it won't get stuck to this, so that these coils will just pop back out again easy. And I know this whole thing with the shirt's not really too necessary. I just don't want oil or my sweat all over it since I'm sweating really bad out here. Again, just pop off the ratchet, put it to the side, and just by hands. And if it feels like it's going in bad, immediately back it out and redo it. Even if it isn't, I suggest just backing it out and trying it again. You don't want one of these going in wrong. Alright, and that's all the way down. Again, just click it on. And one little tiny, once it feels snug, don't push anymore and just pull right off. And now we can take our coil pack and we just slide it right down in there. Give it a little push. Actually, we're going back this out real quick. It's dirty around the cylinder. Try and make sure nothing goes down in there, but we're just going to clean it off a little bit. I got like one little piece of grass down in there, but we'll be okay. And so now we'll just push it in. And then line it back up with the screw hole. Take our screw. Our ratchet. And be careful with these screws too. You don't want to mess up this one here. You won't mess up any screws, but these you want to be really careful with. So we're just carefully going to tighten it back down. And there we go. And then just plug it back in. And do that times however many cylinders you have. And you'll be good. So like if you got a V8, that's 8 cylinders. If you got a V12, 12 cylinders. If you got a Raptor, the new V6s have a dual spark plug setup, so make sure that you know how many spark plugs your car actually takes. But most of it's whatever cylinder number your car is. But like I said, if there's extra spark plugs to your engine, just make sure you check. But other than that, that's all to remove and replace some spark plug. So thank you for watching this video. Make sure you get the right spark plugs for whatever you're going to do. And if you're just daily driving the car, I suggest just get regular spark plugs, but get like the good ones so you get at least about 50 to 100,000 miles out of there. Better than that, thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe because I'm sweaty.